My first question then, I mean, what's it like working with this man when he's in full costume?
Well, it's weird. I've been saying a couple times, we've had a few interviews thus far, but when you look at, first off, it's a trip when you first show up. Then sometimes there's a couple other home, and you don't know if it's him or not. Right. So sometimes I'll be jabbering away, and it's some other dude named Jeff. You know? I'm like, oh, shit.
Who is a nice fella.
He's a very nice fella. But when Doug's in his stuff, he's got eyes here, and when you talk to somebody, naturally you look at their eyes. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. You look at their eyes, and yet his eyes are in his nose. Right. So I got to start going to his nose, you know. So it's pretty cool, but it's amazing because when that character steps onto set, I mean, it's not like you miss it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, holy shit, Doug's obviously here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And with a lot of the CG characters that have happened on the show before, I've heard from a lot of the cast members that they like having a real flesh and blood person in front of them to react to instead of a tennis ball on a post. You know, here's where your eyes should go.
Often exactly what it is. Yeah.
You, darling. You have played such a diverse range of characters, always in costume.
Often, yeah.
What is some of your favorite costumes, and what do you like about this series that's different from the other ones you've done in the past?
Right. Well, this is my first time doing series television as a regular. Most of my work in the fantasy characters you're talking about have been feature films. And I would say among my favorites would be the Fawn from Pan's Labyrinth. I love the Silver Surfer because that's the hottest I've ever looked in my life. And it was all glued on. But Abe Sapien from the Hellboy movies is probably the one that's closest to my heart.
Yes.
That brings me to Cochise because there's a certain Abe Sapien vibe to Cochise. When I saw how he was written, the intellect that he has is very similar to Abe's. His gentle character, but he's also very strong and warrior-like. There's a lot of parallels between those characters. So I love that part of him. But he's also got enough difference to him that it's interesting for me to play him still. So I also like that sort of gray area. Is he really good or is he really evil? Why is he really here? Why would he come to Earth out from how many galaxies away to help these humans fight these bad aliens? What's in it for him? I like that undercurrent of we don't know. Right. So that's fun.
What's the most uncomfortable show?
Okay.
A character that you had to get it like,
I'll tell you.
This one really hurts.
My one answer of a hellacious job was a movie called Bug Buster. Yeah, you haven't heard of it, have you? Okay, right, exactly. What now? Huge fan. Yeah, Randy Quaid was in it, and I was in it playing the mother bug. Yeah. Now that would be a giant-sized insect with a stinger coming out of my ass, wings, big pinchers up here, no, it was absolute hell. The farther you get from human shape, the worse it's going to be. Mother bug from Bug. Yeah.
Cochise is fairly reserved, and how he speaks and how he moves. Might we get a little more emotional, maybe even some action scenes out of him in the future?
Well, you know what? Keep watching. Episode 9 of this season is going to give you some more dramatic moments for Cochise. He probably hits the lowest he's ever been in his lifetime, and you'll see how he bounces back and how the humans that he's been interacting with have taught him a little something about their human spirit and how he's never encountered a species like the humans before.
I can just see the CG or whatever you run across. I mean, he's so tall.
I don't know what that would look like. Yeah,
with an ass.
When I run, I look funny enough as it is. So add some makeup to that, you got Cochise.
Did you add anything to the design of Cochise?
No, design of characters is up to the artists and the brilliant, wonderful people who do what they do. I'll wear their stuff and I'll do the best I can when I'm in it, but I leave that to the Oscar and Emmy nominated artists,
Collin, you had a great episode, I think it was episode 305, where you get stranded with Tom Mason, kind of in the forest. And what was that like to play? Because that's a real good character.
It was awesome because, not that I'm grateful for every little page that I get on the show, but it was nice. It was just, actor to actor. I mean, especially with Noah. I love working with Noah. It's just, he's a theater guy, I'm a theater guy, and I think we both just kind of understand the way each other works. And it was just great to see Pope do some stuff, with Tom Mason. It was wicked. So it was one of my favorite episodes to do. I'm not sure whether it was one of the better episodes to see from audience-wise, but I think it was a hell of a lot of fun to do. But it was cold, man. We had to jump into rivers, and I mean, there was some serious stuff going on. It was very, very cold. So but it was awesome. He's still doing it with a smile, so it was good stuff.
That was my favorite episode of the season.
Thank you very much. Thanks, man.
So Pope is even more of an outsider this season. Does this fuel inspire to act out more and cause chaos for the second mass?
Well, always. And hopefully all the more. I think whether I'm playing them, it doesn't matter who's playing them. It's just a great part. So whoever's got the Pope character, man, it's just it's really good for the show. It's that good grist for the mill, and he's always the guy that when everybody's off falling in love or doing this, he's the guy to say, this is BS. You're gonna get us friggin' killed, and why the hell is it okay for him to do it but not him? All you people are nuts, and you're gonna get us all whacked, So it's nice to see him always just essentially speaking the truth, and he's the most rational and the most logical most times, even though he happens to be a bit of a badass,
Well, on that note, he does kind of walk that fine line, but he does show some heart on occasion. It seems,
Yeah.
And a lot of shows will eventually redeem characters like that and make them completely good guys. Do you want to stick with him walking the line? Would you like to see him just completely turn good or completely?
No, I definitely don't want him to see him turn good. No, he's the reason he works a little bit okay. Maybe there's a bit of light in that dark heart there, but that's it.
Okay.
And then just go back to being Pope, stay Pope. But I hope to God they never muck up the show with a girlfriend or a love interest or any of that crap. He doesn't want it. He doesn't need it. I don't think it would serve the character.
So if they get to the end of the series and you had the choice of writing it, would you go out in a blaze of glory, or would you like to survive to the end and live happily ever after?
No. I was saying that all of our characters, because we never know, they've killed off some pretty cool people. So everybody thinks, okay, if I get a death, they're always going up to the writers. I want to write my own death. Well, we're not killing you off. I know, but you may be, and I know you probably will one day. But I'd love to see Pope shave his head and tattoo his face and just go full-blown Apocalypse Now, kind of Marlon Brando, man. But I don't know what it would be. It might be some redeeming thing where he jumps on the grenade to save Matt Mason or something. But no, I want him to stay bad until the end, and yet there was a little shade of humanity that you see just before so he's the bad guy. Screw you, all of you. I hope you all die. I don't care. And then at the last moment, he's the guy who jumps on the grenade. So I like to see it.
I was reviewing season 2 for another site, and I had a chance to go into special features and see that you guys have a tremendous connection with the fans. You actually brought people on the set.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the connection you have with fans? Because I think it's completely unique, and from our perspective, it's really well done.
Well, I would say it's just whenever that has happened, it's just been like I haven't thought of anything unique about it other than, oh, that's cool. Whether it be however TNT put it together or somebody that won or whatever, and now they're in the background or they're holding a rifle, and I just thought that was great. So, I mean, anytime you get a chance to just meet the fans is great, but anytime you get them on set or you get a chance to actually connect with them, I think it's a great thing.
We're living in a world where fan interaction is it's imperative. It keeps the show going with things like Facebook, Twitter. You have to be accessible to the fans, and it only helps your show. It only helps your career. And for me personally, I feel these are the people that bought my house for me. So I want to come to events like Comic-Con. I want to hug every person that's ever watched me in anything and tell them I love you, thank you.
Yeah, and also the security guys with our group kind of know, like, don't be too whatever. If one of us goes out and breaks the line and jumps into a sidewalk of people, man, then that's okay.
Well, that's what you did. I mean, you were up on a bleacher set, and all of you literally walked, underneath the bleachers, sat up, and actually sat next to people and had a great conversation.
Yeah.
And you never get to see that, and I think those people must have walked away thinking, this has got to be a great show, not just for plot and story, but the quality of people they brought.
Well, that's appreciated. I think as far as we were concerned, it was just really cool for us to sit with them.
Totally, yeah.
So I didn't really think about the other side of it. It's just, wow, this is cool.
And those are the people that I think we put behind the lens of the camera when we're doing the show. That's who I'm performing for. Yeah.
Doug, you played some very iconic roles in the past. I mean, have you got a lot of fan appreciation at this point about Cochise and about Falling Skies?
Absolutely, it's growing with every week that passes because they brought me in subtly, and I've grown with every episode. episode.
Well, you're going to see it now, too. When we go out on that panel, because you weren't here last year as Coach East, and this year you are, so it'll be interesting.
We'll see what happens. But with those social medias especially, I mean, I hear a lot from people. I've gained a lot of new followers since the show started airing this season. Yes. Last question.
Okay, one more question.
Good.
How in the world did you meet and start working with Jones+Falling?
Oh, wow. Mimic, 1997. He filmed the principal photography of Mimic up in Toronto. The guy who played in the bug suits up there couldn't work in the States for the reshoots. So there was a scramble, like, what tall, skinny guy do we know that would wear a bug costume, which we know I've done that before. So I got a call, and that's how I met Guillermo del Toro on Mimic. And we did the instant bonding because we both love monsters.
Del Toro was like, didn't you play the mother bug?
Yeah, I know. My favorite movie, I'm a huge fan, yeah.